Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, this evening I came across a very disturbing story in the Baltimore Sun about a young brother named Richard Collins III. He was scheduled to graduate from Bowie State this week with a degree in business administration. This brother had completed ROTC. He had hopes of being in the military and all that kind of stuff. And he went to visit the University of Maryland. And while he was there, a white man, a white racist by the name of Sean Urbanski, stabbed that brother to death. And Sean Urbanski has been charged with first-degree murder. And it turns out that Mr. Urbanski is a part of a racist Facebook group called the Alt-Reich Nation. It's an anti-Jewish, anti-Black, anti-immigrant, anti-Latino organization. And I really think that this situation should be a wake-up call. There have been other incidents on the University of Maryland campus, from what I understand. A noose was found at a fraternity house. There have been racist flyers circulated on campus. This should be a wake-up call. We had Dylan Roof, who went into a church and killed 9 innocent people who were praying. We had the situation where a man from Baltimore went all the way to New York City to kill a random black person, and he planned to kill more black people. We had a report that I posted on my channel about a cross burning that took place on Saturday, a KKK cross burning. And then you have the report of the alt-right holding a demonstration with torches. Right now, what we have is a climate of hatred. The same climate that elected a Donald Trump. The same climate that is creating an increase in the membership of these hate groups. This is a very frightening situation. We really need to do something about this problem. And it comes at a time when the Trump administration has decided that they're no longer going to focus their investigation efforts on these homegrown domestic terrorist groups called white supremacists. They're not going to focus on them. They're going to focus solely on these foreign terrorist groups. And I think that that's a huge mistake. We know, just given the history in America, that these white supremacists have been the greatest threat to the American people. They have been responsible for violence for centuries in this country. They have a long history of terrorizing black people and other groups of people in this country. And this should be a wake-up call. And we should demand that the FBI and the Justice Department take this issue of white supremacy and hate groups seriously. I just find it odd that the country, the FBI and the government authorities, they had no problem destroying the black liberation movement in this country. But yet these white supremacists continue to thrive. Yet you still have the KKK. Yet you have all these hate groups emerging. And it's not surprising given the fact that one of their own is in the White House. Steve Bannon is the chief political strategist in the Trump administration, a known white supremacist. So, it's apparent why they don't see this as a priority. You had these white supremacists. Shortly after Donald Trump was elected, they were celebrating his election with Nazi salutes. That's how they celebrated his election. These are some frightening times. The fact that Donald Trump was even elected tells you where this country is. It tells you about this climate of hatred that is burning in this country, just like those crosses that were burning in Pennsylvania. And I forgot to mention this one last point, and that's this. As I said before, the Alt-Reich Nation is anti-black, anti-immigrant, anti-Latino, anti-Jewish, and even anti-Muslim. And I think that all these groups who are targeted by white supremacists, they need to unite against a common enemy, against hate mongers like this man.